For the best experience, please use headphones or listen in a quiet environment. Unlock the secrets to building unbreakable relationships. Transform conflict into connection today. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something powerful right out of the gate. What does a true relationship mean to you? Is it love, companionship, maybe mutual respect? Or is it something deeper? Something transcendent, beyond the surface-level understanding of what society teaches us? Here's the truth. A true relationship exists only when there is no psychological division between individuals. Let's unpack this together today. Now, before we dive deeper, let's start with this question. How often have you felt misunderstood, frustrated, or even distant from someone you deeply care about? How many times have conflicts with loved ones felt like an insurmountable wall between your heart and theirs? These moments of friction are universal, but they don't have to be inevitable. Conflict in relationships often arises from one core element, our self-centered activities and desires. And if we can address this, we can transform not only our relationships, but our entire lives. Let's set the stage with a powerful quote by Jiddu Krishnamurti. When we learn to observe without judgment, we begin to see the other person as they truly are, not as we want them to be. Think about that for a second. How often do we filter someone's words or actions through the lens of what we want? When we judge, criticize, or demand, are we just feeding our egos? True relationships, my friends, are not built on ego. They are built on understanding and connection. Let's break this down into actionable steps you can start applying today. Step 1. Observe without judgment. Think of a recent argument you had with someone you care about. Did you spend most of the time trying to prove your point or truly understanding theirs? Observation without judgment requires us to pause, breathe, and listen. Here's an action item for you. The next time you're in a heated conversation, ask yourself, am I truly listening or am I just waiting for my turn to speak? Practice being fully present. This simple yet profound shift will open up a space for genuine connection. Take it a step further. After the conversation, reflect on what you heard and how you responded. Write down any patterns you notice in your communication style. Are you prioritizing understanding over being understood? Reflection helps solidify change. Philosopher Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Let that sink in. Listening is an act of love and respect. Step 2. Identify the root cause of conflict. Here's another question for you. Are most of your conflicts about the actual issue at hand, or are they a projection of unmet needs and unresolved emotions? Often, we're not fighting about the dishes left in the sink or the missed phone call. We're battling deeper insecurities and desires. Action item. The next time a conflict arises, pause and ask yourself, what am I truly upset about? What need am I trying to fulfill? This practice of self-awareness will not only help you de-escalate conflicts, but will also help you understand yourself better. Additional step. Once you've identified the root cause, share it with the other person in a non-confrontational way. Use statements like, I feel hurt because I value being heard, instead of blaming. This fosters mutual understanding. Barack Obama once said, if you're walking down the right path and you're willing to keep walking, eventually you'll make progress. Understanding the root cause of conflict is a step toward that progress. Step 3. Break the cycle of self-centeredness. Let's be honest, we're all guilty of selfishness from time to time. But self-centeredness is the enemy of deep relationships. Here's a powerful exercise. For the next 30 days, commit to one selfless act every day for someone you care about. Maybe it's as simple as making their favorite coffee or writing a heartfelt note. As Tony Robbins often says, the secret to living is giving. When you make giving a habit, you'll find that the walls of division between you and others begin to crumble. And here's the beautiful part. What you give, you get back tenfold. Extended action item. Keep a journal to track these acts of kindness. Reflect on how each act affects the dynamic of your relationship. Over time, you'll see tangible growth in connection and trust. Step 4. Communicate with vulnerability. Have you ever considered that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a superpower? Brené Brown said it best. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, and joy. And isn't that what we're all searching for in our relationships? Action item. Share something vulnerable with someone close to you this week. It could be a fear, a dream, or even an apology. When you lead with vulnerability, you invite others to do the same, creating a bond that is unshakable. Additional insight: vulnerability doesn't always have to be verbal. Sometimes, showing vulnerability is about allowing someone to help you or admitting when you don't have all the answers. This invites deeper connection. As Ernest Hemingway wrote, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places." Vulnerability allows us to embrace those broken places and grow stronger together. Step 5. Shift from expectation to appreciation. Expectations are a breeding ground for disappointment. How many times have you expected someone to act a certain way, only to feel let down when they didn't? Now imagine replacing those expectations with appreciation. Instead of thinking, "Why didn't they do this for me?" ask yourself, "What can I appreciate about them right now?" Action item: start each day by writing down 3 things you appreciate about the people in your life. It's a simple practice, but over time, it will rewire your brain to focus on gratitude rather than grievances. Take it further. Share your appreciation with the person directly. A heartfelt, "I'm grateful for you because," can transform their day and deepen your bond. Oprah Winfrey said, "Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough." Gratitude shifts perspectives and builds stronger bonds. Step 6. Embrace the power of forgiveness. This one is big. Forgiveness is not about condoning someone's behavior. It's about setting yourself free. As Nelson Mandela said, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. Who are you holding resentment toward right now? And more importantly, how is that resentment serving you? Action item: write a letter to someone you need to forgive. You don't even have to send it. Just putting your feelings into words can be a cathartic and healing experience. Bonus challenge: identify one small way you can show forgiveness in action. Perhaps it's extending a kind gesture to someone who wronged you or letting go of a minor grievance. Mahatma Gandhi famously said, "The weak can never forgive." Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. True strength lies in letting go. Step 7. Practice radical empathy. Empathy is the glue of human connection, but true empathy goes beyond saying "I understand." It's about stepping into someone else's shoes and seeing the world through their eyes. Ask yourself, what might they be going through that I'm not seeing? Action item: the next time someone frustrates you, pause and ask 3 questions. 1. What might they be feeling? 2. What might they need right now? 3. How can I show up for them in a meaningful way? Deepen your empathy practice. Spend a day imagining life from their perspective. Consider their stressors, dreams, and challenges. This exercise will cultivate profound understanding. Step 8. Commit to growth together. Here's the deal. Relationships are not static. They're either growing or dying. And growth requires effort, commitment, and a shared vision. What are you doing to grow together with the people you care about? Action item: sit down with your partner, friend, or family member and set a shared goal. Maybe it's reading a book together, taking a class, or even starting a new hobby. The point is to invest in your relationship intentionally. Extend the practice. Schedule regular check-ins to discuss progress. Celebrate small wins and adjust goals as needed to keep the momentum alive. Step 9. Develop emotional mastery. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. Emotional mastery is about choosing your response instead of reacting impulsively. And here's a truth bomb: your relationships will only be as healthy as your emotional state. Action item: practice a mindfulness technique like deep breathing or meditation for 5 minutes a day. This will help you stay grounded and respond to challenges with clarity and compassion. Enhance the practice. Keep a log of situations where you managed your emotions well and those where you struggled. Reflect on what triggered each response and how you can improve. Step 10. Foster mutual respect. Respect is the foundation of any thriving relationship. Without it, trust crumbles and connection fades. As Maya Angelou beautifully said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." How are you making others feel in your daily interactions? Are you uplifting them or tearing them down? Action item: Reflect on your words and actions today. Are they contributing to respect and harmony, or are they creating division? Make a conscious effort to build people up with your words and deeds. Take it further. Compliment someone on a trait or action you genuinely admire. Watch how this small act reinforces mutual respect and appreciation. Step 11. Nurture emotional safety. True relationships thrive in an environment of emotional safety. This means creating a space where both parties can be their authentic selves without fear of judgment or rejection. Author Stephen Covey said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." When you prioritize understanding, you cultivate trust and safety. Action item. Practice active listening today. When someone speaks, resist the urge to interrupt or formulate your response. Instead, listen with the intent to understand and validate their feelings. Extend the effort. Follow up with clarifying questions to show genuine interest, such as, "Can you tell me more about how that made you feel?" Step 12. Celebrate differences. Conflict often arises because we see differences as obstacles rather than opportunities. But here's the truth. Diversity in thought, perspective, and experience is what makes relationships rich and dynamic. As Helen Keller said, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." Action item. Identify one way in which you and someone close to you are different. Instead of seeing it as a challenge, ask yourself, how can I learn from this difference? How can it enrich our connection? Expand the action. Share with them what you've learned about their unique perspective. This will validate their individuality and strengthen your bond. Step 13. Create rituals of connection. Rituals create a sense of stability and joy in relationships. It could be as simple as a weekly coffee date, a shared gratitude practice, or a nightly check-in. These rituals build consistency and closeness. Action item. Design one ritual this week with someone close to you. Make it something meaningful that both of you can look forward to regularly. Level it up. Use these rituals to discuss deeper topics, like dreams and aspirations, that you might not talk about in everyday conversations. Step 14. Acknowledge and celebrate progress. Acknowledging the growth in your relationships can be deeply fulfilling. Celebrate the small wins, like resolving a conflict gracefully or showing up for each other consistently. Action item. Take time to reflect on how your relationships have grown. Share your gratitude with the people involved and express your excitement for what's ahead. Deepen this practice. Create a physical or digital gratitude wall where you post milestones and positive moments in your relationships, bringing it all together. As we wrap up, I want you to take a moment to reflect. What's one thing you can do today to improve your relationships? Maybe it's observing without judgment, showing appreciation, or forgiving someone. Whatever it is, commit to it. Don't just think about it, take action. And before you go, let me ask you to do something for yourself and for this community. Hit that subscribe button, click the notification icon, and like this video. Here's why. When you do, you're not just staying connected to content that helps you grow. You're helping us reach more people, spreading these life-changing messages to those who need them most. Together, we're creating a ripple effect of positive change. So what will you choose to do today? Because the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. Let's make them extraordinary. Until next time, go out there, connect deeply, and live fully. You've got this.